All right, real quick, I want to talk about this guy, Chuck Schumer. For those of you who don't know, he's the minority leader of the Senate and the head of the Democratic Party here in the United States. The reason I want to talk about him today is because he was recently brought up in an episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. If you don't watch it, please go do so. It's an amazing show. But he was brought up because of kind of an interesting situation that I never knew about. And I've been following politics for a little over 10 years now. And even when I was a little bit more supportive of establishment Democrats, I never really liked Chuck Schumer. And don't come at me about being supportive of establishment Democrats. I don't know why. I was young. Maybe it was Nancy Pelosi's giant tits. I have no idea. But either way, I always felt like Chuck Schumer did a little bit too much pandering. And oh my God, I did not know just how accurate that was. So, in the most recent episode of Last Week Tonight, they talk about Chuck Schumer and his relationship with a family called the Baileys. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the episode, but the Baileys aren't real. The Baileys are Chuck Schumer's idea of what a moderate American family is. And because of the way that he has created them in his mind, it's come to the realization, at least to me, that by trying to pander to everybody, Chuck has ended up pandering to absolutely nobody because he's had to create this idea of what moderate Democratic voters are like. And we see this kind of like psychology thing a lot, especially with like people like Joe Rogan when he says stuff like, I know somebody who blank, or I have a friend that knows blank. It's a psychological thing to give credit or credence to whatever you're talking about. And it just feels very fake. And now knowing that our leadership is doing the same kind of thing, and that's what they base a lot of their tactics around, is embarrassing, honestly. It's very embarrassing that our Democratic leadership is making up imaginary voters in order to try to figure out what their voting base wants. We need to get these people out of office. It's got to happen. Yeah, that's about it. See ya.